This was the kind of stuff that I was looking for on YouTube when I was trying to learn how to build out country demos in the country market when I first moved to Nashville. Not saying it ain't out there, but y'all know not all of it sounds this good.
Blame it on mama's prayers that came through. Blame it on the good Lord and your baby blues. They got me doing things I swore I'd never do. I'm a brand new man, and I blame it on
All right, straight up, y'all know I love to give credit where it's due. Mr. Will Bundy, I co-produced this with you. We wrote this on the road with Dylan Scott. I think it was last year sometime, but I love co-producing. I love being able to, take my ideas and blend them with someone else's track, vice versa. Will laid an awesome freaking dobro part here. I want y'all to show this. And he also laid some background vocals. First of all, let's check out Will's backgrounds. Love that, all verbed out. Looks like I printed that. Check out this dobro part though. Love that, so simple, it's so hooky. It's not anything crazy going on, but it's played clean, it's recorded well, and it just is a vibe in this intro. Check it out. I think it's killer, and that's something that, I have a resonator guitar, but I don't have a dobro, so whenever you can collab with another producer and they're able to bring an instrumentation on it that's not usually in your productions, that's why I love co-producing. So let's move on here. Let's listen to what these electrics are doing. It's the same guitar part, but you'll notice that I have it treated a little different. In the verse here,
Hellraiser,
and I have it labeled mono electric. So I want the focus to be in the center for the verse. Well, watch what happens when it comes to this chorus. Solo up everything here. So now that same part you're hearing is hard pan to the right. And the guitars are wide, there's two parts going now. So I have that vibe going in the chorus.
and I blame it on
And all those blend so well. Everything between that dobro lick and the background vocals there, I just really love the way this demo turned out.
I blame it on
Have a guitar bend going from each ear. So it's now you're not hearing the same thing each time, and if you are hearing the same part, it's coming at you from a different direction in the mix, which I like to do. Let's move on to some of the drums here. We got some snaps, some kicks. So what we got here, all this is pretty much printed. That's our drum groove, nothing crazy, just some fat samples and a killer groove. These drums were knocking, man. I didn't have to put them in like a track stack or any kind of bus. They just sounded really good just dropping them in. I feel like there's some processing before I printed them down, but let's go ahead and go to this bridge section. And I want to show y'all a production technique that I like to do that whenever you're going to different sections of a song, sometimes, I like to gradually take things out to get me to a down chorus. I'll show you what I mean. So this is coming out of chorus 2.
blame it on call it what you wanna, but baby, you saved me. If it hadn't been for you, no telling where I'd be. Blame it on mama's prayers that came through. Blame it on the good Lord and your baby blues. They got me doing things I swore I never do. I'm a brand new man. Yeah. Blame it.
So much going on there that I love, man. So let me just mute this lead vocal real quick, even though that's great. We'll get to that in a second, how that mix is going on. But I want you guys to focus on the instrumentation and the drops that are happening here coming out of the second chorus. So just listen to the music. Here's the bridge. All right, I need to mute my little harmony in there. So immediately I treat the banjo different, like it sonically sounds different. Here's what it was. Looks like 3 different things are going on. So let's just go ahead and listen to all these banjos here real quick and see what the differences are. Center, bunch of delay. That one's off one side of the ear, right side, really roomy. Now here's the bridge. It flips ears, it's now on the other side and not as reverby. Okay, so that's one part that's got 3 different pans. It's affected 3 different ways, but I feel like it brings depth to getting to that bridge section. You're not just hearing the same part over and over, you're treating it differently in the mix. And I feel like that's what can level up a production. And don't feel like you always need to add more parts more than affect the same part differently. So here again is it in context with the mix. Breaks down. Just the snaps on the drums there too, no snare. All right, so much going on there as well. I love the bass parts in there. I also love how everything dries up on that down chorus. So these may be all new parts. It looks like I did record a special acoustic for this on this part. Not much going on to it. I have this sample delay going. Here's without it. So that's mono, but whenever I delay it, it gives me a wider image. I love that. And that's just one acoustic guitar. It's super dry, not a lot of verb on that, because usually on these down choruses, I like to keep it pretty dry. That way when you get to that last chorus, it's wide open, and it's more wet with verb, and it just feels bigger if you contrast it with that smaller, dry down chorus. So, got that acoustic, got some snaps in here, and that electric. That's pretty cool. So I have 2 bass tracks here. I'll show you all the difference. This is my main bass track right here. So that's coming out of the bridge, but then you get to the end of this chorus and it looks like I've affected it differently. I have some overdrive, just basically really bringing the signal up. Super dry though. And compressed. But I like it for that part, so listen to it in context again. We're listening to the bass. So the reason I feel like it's important to affect things differently and mix them different for certain sections, because honestly this bass is too overcompressed for it to be that signal all the way through the song. But for that moment, I just wanted that squeeze feeling, like that tension right before you get to that last chorus. I wanted it to sound like that bass was just cranked. So it's a lot easier just to double a track and affect that bass just for that part that you're hearing, and then leave the regular mixed bass that's happening in every chorus. Just don't even mess with that. Just duplicate your track and focus in on the section that you want to be more aggressive and adjust it that way. At least that's the way I do it. I'll show you this vocal chain.
Brand new man. Yeah. Blame it on mama's prayers that came through.
I mean, just being real, Dylan Scott's one of the best vocalists I've worked with as far as just being able to show up, sing in key, sing in time, have awesome phrasing. I mean, he's like one of those guys that takes 2 passes and he's got it. But you can hear some of the delays that are happening on this lead vocal chain.
Blame it on mama's prayers that came through. Blame it on the good Lord and your baby blues. They got me doing things I swore I never do. I'm a brand new man, and I blame it on you.
So that is a 3-part harmony. Let's hear what's going on. It sounds like I have some mixing stuff happening with this lower guy.
Blame
it on mama's prayers that came through. So I have that same sample delay happening on this background vocal. Blame it on mama's. Because it's not mono, and it has that wider feel to it. So I'll show y'all guys the difference. Because I have this high harm, and I think it's just mono. So. It came through. Blame it on the good Lord and your baby blues. So that one's mono, really verbed out, but this is what they all do together. Whenever you split that lower harm, it just has a wider perception in the mix, which I love. So here's those 3 vocals together.
Blame it on mama's prayers that came through. Blame it on the good Lord and your baby blues. They got me doing things I swore I never do. I'm a brand new man, and I blame it on you.
So I'm loving that vocal mix, even though when it's all soloed up, it sounds like I have a ton of verb floating around there. It works with the track. I also want you guys to realize, let me go back to this main vocal here. It says quick Vox chain right here.
Blame it on mama's prayers that came through. Blame it on the good Lord and your baby blues. They got me doing things I swore I never do. I'm a brand new man.
So there's a little vocal effect here where I do a brand new man repeat. I'll solo this guy up and show y'all what's happening here.
Brand new man. Blame it on.
So on that brand new repeat there, I have the sample delay once again. It is, I'll show you what
brand new man.
That's with it. Here's without it.
Brand new man. Blame.
And to me, giving some of that width to it there brings so much to that.
Brand new man.
You really won't be able to hear it unless you have headphones on, but it does so much to the width of the mix. Whenever you compare what's going on and the way this lead vocal is treated in the chorus, as it progresses in the song, I have these vocals kind of on a couple of different tracks here. So there may be different verbs, different delays going on for what I have going for each section. But here's how that lead vocal contrasts between these 2 parts right here.
New man. Yeah. Blame it on mama's prayers that came through. Blame it on the good Lord and your baby.
So this is exactly what I'm talking about. When I get to this last chorus, if you go down to this last chorus vocal, I have a lot more buses and delays. There's silver verb, there's the endless smile delay, and it looks like the time cube here. And so that really widens out that last chorus. And sometimes I'll only have that one vocal on that last chorus going to all those verbs and delays. I may keep it more dry through the beginning of the song. It's just a traditional thing to have that last chorus be the biggest part of the song. And I kind of like to produce that way as well. Without taking too much of y'all's guys' time, hope y'all have learned something from this. I'm going to go ahead and play this out. We'll just listen to from the second chorus out.
Call it what you wanna, but baby, you saved me. If it hadn't been for you, no telling where I'd be. Blame it on mama's prayers that came through. Blame it on the good Lord.
Okay, that's another thing. I was hearing that overdub of just that one lick. That's the only track that's happening. Has all the freaking lows cut out of that part, and that's all that I have going on there is just that one little lick, that little bendy thing. And so if you hear something specific in one part, I mean, there's nothing wrong with just dropping it in there. I used to think, like, if I have a guitar part, well, it has to be that same tone throughout because it needs to be cohesive. No, not at all. You can go in and make one specific part with delays or verbs. If that's a vibe that you're bringing for just that section, then that's totally cool. So I wanted to point that out because that's literally the only time in this track that guitar is happening. But I think it's so necessary and it brings something to it. I'll shut up and play it out now.
Hadn't been for you, no telling where I'd be. Blame it on mama's prayers that came through. Blame it on the good Lord and your baby blues that got me doing things I swore I'd never do. I'm a brand new
Drum
man.
fill.
Blame it on
All right, y'all, that is a breakdown of a country demo in Logic Pro X. If y'all want to see more stuff like this, let me know in the comments.